good people. This is your goat Minyari coming to you from the beautiful world of Chimeraland. And for this session, I was asked recently about how to choose which pets to work on and how to make pets stronger. So without further ado, I shall hit display, open up the user interface, and let's get started. So today I have out my dragon serpent note rope. It's my note rope. And I am very fortunate in that I have a slew of really worthwhile pets to work on. My Pin-a-Pup was my first, and I worked really hard on that. I put a lot of energy, a lot of maturity pills, a lot of intelligence pills, and I built this up to be a very powerful fighter. She has great hit points, great attack, defense, armor pierce, crit, not the best resilience, but this is my best pet at the moment. However, and another thing, while I have this open, I want to bring your attention to a very important stat. Okay, so when you open up your pet tab, you go to attributes. This shows your base stats up here at the top, and then down here at the bottom, at the very bottom, it says attribute conversion rate. This is 5% for the Pin-a-Pup, and it is also going to be 5% for the Stagisis. It is 5% for the Dragon Horse. It is 5% for the Dragon Serpent, and it is 5% for Delululululu. And I'm going to assume that it's also going to be 5% for the Fin Fox, which I do not have yet. I did hatch a Snow Peen, but I have not decided which direction I want to go with that at the moment. Whether I want to do it at all. I may or may not. I don't know. But I did get this beautiful creature. And this is not something that I'm going to end up spending a lot of time or money on. Or not money, but currency on. But this is a magnificent beast. I'm in love with this Sparrowdact. I wish that it was customizable, but like the Stodal, it is not. So what you see is what you get. This is, it is what it is. So, anyway, back to the pets. So, notice, okay, so the Dragon Serpent, the conversion rate is 5%. For the Sparrowdact, your conversion rate is 4%. For your Jade Fox, the conversion rate is 4%. Although the Jade Fox does give a monster XP bonus of 3%, but that's not important at the moment. But the 4% conversion rate is something that I want you to know about and pay attention to. I wonder what the Droon gives. 4%. So all of these other ones, like attribute rate is 4% for the Stodal, and for Jindipelta, 4% attribute rate. So the ones that you really want to concentrate on are going to be the ones that give you 5%. Notice that some of those in my bloodline are at 5%, whereas, for instance, my Jindipelta, who is at 25,000 power, and she's maxed out on this top level of attributes. She's 25,000 power, but again, she only gives 4%. However, it does not do me any good to replace my Jindipelta with, say, my Stagisis until my Stagisis, her power right now is 10,000, almost 11,000 power versus the 25,000 power. So the extra 1% that I would get from putting the statuses into my bloodline over the Pelta is not worth it yet. So I need to get the statuses up to at least 25,000 power before I switch that out in my bloodline. And the same sadly goes for my Jade Fox, which is 27,000 power. So my plan is that I'm going to replace the Jade Fox with my Dragon Horse, and then my Pelta will be eventually replaced with my Stagisis. So, and that is all just based on the 5% conversion rate versus the 4%. All of these other noble beasts, like even my Velociraptor here, 4% conversion rate. So in the long run, it is more worth my effort to spend my currency on these 5% pets rather than the 4% pets. All right. So how do we make a pet stronger? First of all, the first thing that I do is when I log in every day, I go to the shop, and under popular over here, I buy the Pet XP gift for 10 sage, and I buy 10 of them. Max it out and I buy 10. All right. And usually, you know, some days I get lucky and I'll get 4 orange pills and 2 purple pills and 2 blue pills. Some days I get 1 orange purple pill and 1 orange pill, 4 purples, and 5 blues. It's random what you get, but I do make that purchase every day, and that gives me a good jump on gaining XP for the pets. Here up at the top, level 58 of 60. Once this pet has gotten to level 60 for experience, then I will start feeding my experience pills to my Dragon Horse. All right, but I'm still going to invest all of my Chimeraland one-pot meals, and any maturity pills that I get are going to go to my Dragon Serpent, and those serve to increase the attributes here in this middle tab. So once you get that maxed out, then from that point on, you can still feed the Chimeraland one-pot meals, and you can exceed the base stats. So for instance, here you see that my Pinup started out at 75, 70, 70, actually it was 73, 70, 70. All right. And then she's gotten +2 and +1 from eating Chimeraland one-pot meals. And then when you feed eggs, the common eggs, I would recommend to use only the common eggs. But when you feed the eggs, those go into your refining attributes. And you see here that, she's at 299 of 884. So even though the top layer of her attributes are maxed out, she still has a ton of room to grow. So I could keep feeding her one-pot meals and eggs and make her stronger and stronger. All right. But up until that point, as you can see here, that is not even an option until I get that top section of attributes maxed out. Okay, so the way that you max it out is you either feed if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, we talked about this last week when I talked about tasty meals. You go into the bottom left-hand corner and you click on delicacies, and for most of the animals, pets that you have, you only get one. You get one purple, and then you get like two orange, and then you've got the Chimeraland one pot dish, and then you've got the new gifted dish. I'd like to say, you know, that, you know, obviously the legendary quality, those are going to be better than the purple. They grant some XP, and it has a high chance of increasing the pet's quality, a very slight chance of decreasing the quality. Sorry, I'm reading this extra bit down here. So, and then over here, just has a chance of increasing or decreasing the pet's quality. So you do have a higher chance of increasing the quality by using the legendary quality meals. However, the ingredients required for those meals are going to be a bit more challenging for, I'm going to say, the average player in this game. If you're a whale and you've got like super best gear and super best pets, and you're able to go and knock out illustrious beasts with one or two people, then these might not be a challenge. But for, I'm going to say, a majority of the players, you're really going to be wanting to focus on the purple quality meals. So what I do is I went through my list and I wrote all of my pets down, and then I made a note of what their favorite purple dish was. So Jerry, for instance, loves the wood smoked gator meat. And by the way, so he loves the wood smoked gator meat. My dragon horse loves the exotic roguana rolls. I cannot feed my dragon horse the wood smoked gator meat. They're very picky about what they're going to eat, and they're not going to eat it if it's not on the list over here on the left. Alright, so I have the recipe for this guy. So every Ember Gator that I come across is kill on sight, and I use that to make meals for Jerry. Every spiked lizard that I see is kill on sight. I use that to make meals for Roharan. And then every Elabor is kill on sight, and I make meals for Delulululululu. She gets the smoked Elabor meat, and I just unlocked that today. So those are now on my kill on sight list. Now, again, I mentioned earlier about the dragon serpent being a little bit different in that he actually has 3 different meals that he can eat. And unfortunately, I don't have the recipe for the spiced alagon or the cured wolf meat. The cured wolf meat is from killing Batolfs, and then the alagon, I would have to kill alagons, which are on a different continent. So really the only thing that I have available for him is either going to be the stewed snow goose feet, which I do have the recipe for, but it calls for, obviously calls for snow goose feet, and you acquire those from killing the Kunters, which I hate killing the Kunters because my pets don't really help very much, and it takes forever and a day. So pretty much all of my maturity pills go to my dragon serpent, and any Chimeraland one pot meals go to my dragon serpent. For my dragon horse, for Jerry, and for Delulululu, those I actively seek out Ellebores, Imbrigators, and spike lizards, and I kill those so that I can work on improving their attributes. Now, once I do get, I'm going to say that probably in 2 more days I will have my serpent up to full level, and once that happens, then my dragon horse will get all of my int pills, and my serpent will only get my maturity pills. And I will, keep everything else the same. And then once I get my dragon serpent's attributes maxed out, then all of my maturity pills will start going to my dragon horse on top of the tasty meals. So I can just get those numbers up as fast as possible. So that would be my, this is my primary focus. This is my secondary focus. And then after that, I'll work on Delululu, and eventually my Stagisis is on the list. Now, another thing that you need to be made aware of is that you can't, in the pet section here, under universal, no, where is it? What I'm looking for is the treasured flight, and I want to say, oh, here we go. Here we go. It's under pet in the first tab under mount, and the treasured flight pass will give you the Chimeraland 1-pot meals, and the raptor stones, this is the one. The raptor stones drops a harrier which will lay up to 7 silver or gold eggs. I've done a handful of these raptor stones and I've only gotten silver eggs, so it doesn't matter. That's what I'm looking for anyway, because you need those eggs in order to, if you want to move your pet from, like we'll look at Jerry, for instance. I'm working on his, getting him up to from Grand to Noble. So to get him from Grand to Noble, I'm going to need to make a Largen Pill mountain. And I'm also going to have to feed him 1 of any of these eggs on this list here. So I already have a Frost Deer Bull egg ready for him to go. So now what I need to do is feed him common eggs. And if you notice here on the right, it says transmute, 20% chance of obtaining essence. All right. So what you need for that is to feed common eggs. You can also feed, like, if you kill a lot of Venus flytraps, you'll often get a fairy egg. Those will work too. And actually it kind of works nice because this one here, it asks for a fairy, the Azure Light. So you have a chance where you don't necessarily have to get your transmute up to 100% in order for it to take the essence of the Azure Light pill. I would save 1 just in case you don't get it, but you know, if you are like me and you just have a bunch of those fairy eggs and don't feel reserved in feeding them to the pet in order to get that transmute essence up to 100%. Of course, you can take some chances and, you know, just get it up to 80% or whatever, and then, you know, you have an 80% chance that if that legendary egg that you put down is going to get eaten or not. I just did Lilybell today. I fed her a grouper, and I got her this melee damage reduction of 1%. So even though these don't, I'm not ready yet to move her up to to legendary, or I'm sorry, to illustrious, I do need to make a Maru mountain pill, and I need to feed her 1 egg off of this list, which none of those are fun to fight. I don't really know what I'm going to do about that. I hate fighting every single flying thing in the game. And then over here we have another list of really daunting beasts to kill. I do know that the ice bug is doable in a group. I'm going to assume that the flame bug is about the same. Not sure that we've fought a stone spine rhino. But yeah, this is also another one of those lists where it's like, good luck. So it'll happen when it happens. And finally, the last thing that I want to talk about is fullness. So you'll notice that Lily Bell has some food in her belly. So as long as she's out, and actually she's not a good example. Let's we'll pull out Roharan. As long as Roharan is out and has food in her belly, she will gain XP as she's just standing there, but also as we're killing things and venturing out in the world, she will gain XP. So, what do you feed? What's the best thing to feed your pets? I'll tell you a secret, and you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that the best thing is very easy to acquire. I think I keep it in here, but I might have rearranged things. It's in here. Dew. Alright, so dew hey, where'd that come from? A level 3 resin stone. Well, that's funny, because I just did a thing on sigils. Okay, anyway, consumable, and then I go to dew, which is at the bottom here. I have plenty of that. When you feed it, the pets gain, I guess 20. So 100 dew will give 2,000 fullness. So if I feed, like, she's already got some food in her belly. And actually, I'm not going to go too crazy with this because I want her to be hungry, because I have ingredients to make tasty meals. Actually, I'll go do that right now. I have ingredients to make tasty meals, so I want to make sure that she eats those before I get to that. But yes, dew is very easy to come by and works just as good as anything else. Another thing that I like to feed my pets, food weighs a lot, and I really have no purpose to have a lot of extra buff foods. So I like to focus on like one particular buff food, and every day for the clan meals we get like 3. So my pet ends up getting a lot of my extra buff foods, because I don't want to be carrying around all of that extra weight. But we're going to go to the stove. We're going to go to the tasty meal. Exotic, that's not it. Exotic Gorguana rolls. I've got enough to make 2 here. I'm going to change my meat and my spice and cook. And then I think I have enough for Jerry. Got quite a few for Jerry. So change that to dew and make 4 of those for Jerry. And I don't think I have any smoked Ellabore meat. Oh, I do. I will go ahead and have a lot of Forchefant meat for some reason. Now, this is where I'm going to have to pay attention because right now I've never made the smoked Ellabore meat. So I'm going to cook it. I'll make as many as I can, as 3. And just watch the progress. And luckily, so far, both of them have been 5 seconds. If it's anything longer, like this is 25 seconds, I'm going to hit recook. And now it's 5 seconds. So if it's longer than 5 seconds, it's going to be a fail. Now, if you, again, I talked about this last week in my tasty meal tutorial, but I'll talk about it again real quick. Over here on the left, it says Mastery Level 1, Mastery Progress 3 of 5, Success Rate 50%. I have to make 2 more smoked Ellabore meals to get to Mastery Level 2, and that will get me to 70% success rate. And then once you get to Mastery Level 3, which I've made quite a few of the gator meat, that gives me a success rate of 100%. So every time I cook that, I'm going to be guaranteed to get what I think I'm getting. So I'm going to go back out here, and we have Roharan. And Roharan likes the Groguana rolls. Notice that when I'm going to feed, it's in the consumable section. It's not in the pet section. It's in consumable, and it has a blue paw print on the top left-hand corner. Roharan likes the Groguana roll, so I'll feed 2 of those to her. I think that's all I got. And then now I'm going to go ahead and feed her some dew just to fill her belly. And I'll feed her like, I don't know, 75. And that won't fill her up completely. So I'll have room for more later. And then I will switch to Jerry. Now for this guy, he still needs some eggs, but I think that he is only at 20%, so I'm not gonna focus on that right now. I'm just gonna feed him his Ember Gator, his Gator rolls. And you can speed this up. You can just hit feed previous food and it automatically goes, so you don't have to wait for the wheels to go through their little process. And the last thing I had was for Delulu, which this will be the first time Delulu gets her Ellabore meal. And sometimes you get poop. So that's all I got out of that. Oops, collect. So now I have fairy poop. And because I got to make a new meal, I also got +2 in armor piercing. So that is a very nice perk. And I think that pretty much covers it. So basically, you know, make sure that when you have pets out that they have some food in their belly. You can use dew. 200 dew will fill it almost completely up. I'm not going to do the math for the 2,500. Sorry. And then, you know, just make sure that when they're out, they have some food in their belly. And use your int pills to get them up to level, you know, to their highest level. Feed your maturity pills, which you can buy them in the shop. They're in the pets section under Universal, and they're 50 sage each. So you can get, I think it's 20, you can get 24 1000, which I don't have, but I have bought 20 at a time often. And that's a really good, to me, that's a very good way to spend some of my sage. So if you want the maturity pills, you could buy them with sage. And then also back to, was it pet, under the raptor stone, you can buy the harriers and get eggs. And while we're on the subject of the harriers, they now, with the last update, they released a wild harrier. And I'm not really sure what all the deal is with those things, but I can tell you this. Sometimes when you approach them, you have the option to touch them. You get a button that says touch. And if you click that button, and if you have dark cuisine in your inventory, the harrier chicken will eat the dark cuisine and will lay. The first time I did it, I got like 5 eggs out of it. The second time I did it, I only got 1. So it's variable as far as how many eggs that you get from them. And also sometimes you don't get, it doesn't give you the option. So I'm thinking that, like, if somebody comes along and they press the touch button and then they get the egg transaction out of it, the harrier goes on its merry way. And if they don't kill it, then the next person who comes along, the only option that they have is to ride it. And then if you do kill it, they're a level 45 beast. They don't fight back. They will run away. And they take a good bit to actually kill them. But once you do kill them, you will get sweet harrier meat. And I don't know what recipe that is used for at this time. But that's what you get. So there's the wild harriers that you can search for. So far I have only found them around cities, like the little villages. Specifically, I found them in the Kunzi village, and I believe I also found them in the Rhino village. So that's where I would kind of like concentrate my searches if you're gonna do your search for them. And then, like I said, make sure that you have some dark cuisine in your bag. And to get the dark cuisine, I think it's like 2 poops in a water. I'm not sure. I really hate the idea that, like, I'm cooking at a stove and or even at my mill, and like one of my options is to cook with poop. Like, I feel like we need a completely different set of stuff for poop related. I mean, it's very unhygienic. But recipes, not tasty meals. What am I looking for? I'm looking for dark cuisine, and it's 1 poop and 1 water. 1 poop, 1 dew. Gives you dark cuisine. Alright, so that is that for, how to grow a strong pet and how to prioritize which pets to work on versus which pets to just kind of put those on the back burner and have them for looks only, or, work on them later. But the most important is to get your bloodline pets in tip-top condition so that they impart their power to your power. So focus on those 5%ers and use your int pills, use maturity pills, use Chimeraland 1-pot dishes, use tasty meals, and eggs, common eggs, all the eggs you can get. Like for instance with Lilybell, if I fed her common eggs right now, well, it would increase her chance of obtaining essence, So either I can focus on, you know, working on getting her up to illustrious, or it goes toward, and when I do feed the eggs, it goes toward these refining attributes that raises these various skills here up a little bit more. But that's it, you guys. That is everything that you need to know about training up your pets. Thank you for requesting this tutorial, and thank you for watching. And if you found this to be informative and helpful, then please click subscribe and like. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day.